Hey guys, how's it going? Owner here and welcome to another Apex Online Racing AOR League race. This time it's time for the circuit of the Americas, so Austin in Texas. Very good circuit in the real Formula 1. I expected it to be better actually in this game. I thought that I would really enjoy this track, but it's pretty average. It's not bad or anything. It's a bit average. It's just, I expected a little bit more, to be honest, but not complaining though. Could be worse, especially after Abu Dhabi, which is a very bad track in my opinion. Luckily we have finished that, and this track is 10 times better than Abu Dhabi. So here we go then. You're joining me on my outlap. I'm currently in P3 with a 1:35.1, which is already a pretty quick time. Although both Bruno and Gaston are faster than me at this stage. Gaston in pole position with a 35.058, so it's pretty close, the top three. But I'm sure that I can improve. My personal best coming into this session was a 34.6, so I can definitely improve. And I was, before the qualifying, I was consistently, I should say, not currently. I was consistently. Whoa, I was consistently driving a 34.8, 34.7 the whole time, around that space or target. So that was really my target. Try to drive a 34.7, and if I could really do that, then I would be on pole probably. So doing quite a slow outlap actually, trying to save the tires a little bit. Do not overstress them at this stage, because that's not necessary. Just take it slow, go to mix 3, burn up some fuel before we go to the line, and then we should be good. So a couple of very difficult corners, especially from cockpit mode. A lot of corners are actually blind. The first corner as well. So here we go then, using curves and opening up the DRS. The start finish line is right after that final corner. So here we go then, up to 7th gear. We're just before the 100 meter board down to first gear. And then this corner in cockpit mode, you just want to turn in when it feels right, because you cannot really see the apex. So here we're gonna using a little bit of curves at the exit of the corner. And then this section, which is left, right, left. It's very important to have a good knowledge of the racing line here, as I'm already 2.5 tenths up as I make a little bit of a corner cut there. I will admit that. I will come on to that later. This is a crucial corner, by the way, and having a very good exit there, which is the most important thing ever, especially on this track. I will explain it soon as well in the race. So braking at the 100 meter board down to first gear, another very important corner. You want to get that right, which I pretty much nailed it. Pretty much perfect corner there, because it leads onto this very long straight with the DRS zone. And this straight is obviously very important, as you want to have a good top speed. So the exit out of kind of final corner was very important, as we brake about 130 meters, I would say, for this left-hander. And then we go right, left, which is very tricky corner combination, especially this one. I don't really like this corner. It's pretty shit if you ask me. So final sector then. This is a very long triple apex. Very easy as well, it's just flat out. And this corner is very tricky, but do I get it right? Yeah, I do. That was pretty good. I kept it reasonably well within the white lines there. I already exceeded the white lines or the limits on my quali lap, so that's a 1:34.755, which is a pretty good lap. I could have done better, but I didn't actually. So there we go into a pole position. Granu is in second, so very well done by him. And then Gaston in fourth and Alex in third. So very close between it's pretty close between everyone basically. I think Chicane managed to qualify himself up into P13. He didn't really like this track, so that might explain his, not really a poor performance, but obviously we have seen him higher up, this season, in qualifying at least. So let's see if we can make up a few places in the race. So here we go then, getting into my car, and strategy for this race pretty straightforward. Even though the tire wear is pretty high at the end of your stint, but it is option prime. Now I can tell you that coming back onto it at that qualifying lap, I did not a huge cut, but I definitely exceeded the white lines there. But then for the rest of the lap, I tried to keep it, within the white lines, reasonably safe. I mean, I'm usually pretty clean, I think, in my opinion, with the quali laps. Unfortunately this time I exceeded the limits, but I hope that's okay. I don't think it mattered that much anyway. So here we go then onto the grid, into P1. Let's see if Grenu can hold up Alex. Here we go, 5 lights, and the lights are out, and away we go. And the Austin Grand Prix is underway. Grand Prix of the United States, and it seems like our Alex is on the outside already of Grenu. Managed to get off the line pretty well. Here's the first corner, taking it very safe here. Look in the mirrors, it seems like Alex is indeed in P2. Yes, he is indeed. He managed to pass Grenu, so straight away the battle is on between me and Alex. Obviously Alex can become a champion here, and he needs to score, I think, 12 points more than me, or 11, 13 points more, I think, not sure. Anyway, he is 37 points ahead of me right now in the championship, so if he gets second, he will already be a champion no matter where I finish. So first lap is underway then. It's pretty difficult actually, getting used to the car, to the fuel, as Dark Lord already disconnects. So my fuel strategy for this race, you will see that soon, or I will explain it next lap. It's a pretty good fuel strategy, if I say so myself. So here we go then, getting a feel of the car. Usually Alex is a bit better with adapting to the performance that you get in the race stint. So usually he knows a little bit quicker than me, you know, the limits and stuff like that, how the car is responding to your inputs. So it seems like, yeah, he does hold on right now. I would say he's about 7/10 behind. But look at the gap already between me and Alex, and as you saw there, I did a cut there. Don't want to do that too much, but it's just pretty hard in the cockpit view. You cannot really judge when to turn in. You just have to turn in when it feels right. So I apologize for that cut, but there's not a lot you can do. So I'm going to mix 3 for this straight, and then go to mix 2 as I turn in a little bit too early there. Go to mix 2 right now for this for the rest of the first sector. Alex is pretty close behind me, definitely. Entering lap 2. So don't take a very good line through there. You want to have a very good line through there, which is, you know, very important. And in this corner is so critical. It really is. I took it pretty poor there, to be honest, but you will see it throughout the race that that corner is very, very critical. I think the most important corner on this track. So here we go. Alex looks pretty close behind us, so going to mix 3, which is part of my fuel strategy anyway. Yes, he is pretty close, but does look like he has a very high top speed, so go to mix 1 now. For these couple of corner combinations, it's like a little bit of an arena section, if you know what I mean. It's very, you know, technical, very complicated. Slow corners. Alex just 3/10 behind, and already a gap of 4.1 seconds to Raiden, who's right now in 3rd place. So it seems like Grenu is struggling in his first stint, which is unfortunate to see. He had a very good quali pace, but it seems like his race pace is dropping him down a little bit. So go wide once again there. It's a very hard corner. I cannot get it right at this stage of the race. So Alex is pretty close behind us. DRS will be enabled this lap as well, so he will have an advantage too. So go to mix 3. Trying to defend as well. He's just half a second behind as I do a 39.6, and Alex, he must have done a fast lap of the race, I presume. He has done indeed 39.5, about a 10 faster, but it's very close behind. I think we are holding him up at this stage. I think he is slightly faster, not a lot, so I have to do something now, get into a good rhythm. Otherwise it will be too late and Alex will get past. So this is the moment where it has to happen. And look as well in the mirrors, Alex takes a very, very weird line through there, if you ask me. That's not the right line. Let's go well wide there. Way too wide. Seems like Alex will have DRS. Yes, he will have. Definitely. He's close enough. So let's see. Is DRS effective on this track? I don't know. We'll see. Using a lot of curves. Saving a little bit of curves for the run through to the line. Even though it's a very short run. Obviously, curves regenerates every time you cross the start-finish line, as Alex is very, very far back. So the DRS doesn't seem to be too effective, which is obviously in our advantage. Oh, over a second. Even with DRS, Alex has dropped quite a way back. Don't know if he is saving fuel or something like that. He might be. as Raiden is as well closing us down just a little bit. Gap is about 4 seconds, so seems to be pretty stable. Gonna get it right this time, this corner. It was better, but still wide on the exit. And I should be close to the apex as well, so I'm struggling at the moment. Entering lap 4, doing a 39.5, so that's the fast lap of the race. So, you know, it seems like I settle into a rhythm a little bit more, into a nice good flow. But it just always takes me quite a bit of time before I actually get into a good flow. Which is definitely a bad point. It's not one of my strongest points, you know, the first couple of laps in a race. Right, there we go, getting indeed in a good flow right now. And we skip to a later part of lap 4. And as you can see, I lock up here, inside wheel lock there, and that just wiped away all the advantage that I had on Alex. And the gap is now, well, about 7/10 I would say, because I made another mistake there going wide once again. So it seems like I think Alex did his quali lap on his final stint, on his final run, which basically means you have an advantage, because I did my fastest lap in my second run, which means you have to do another in lap. You know, you set your lap and then you have to return to the pits. When you do the do your fastest lap on your final run, however, you do one out lap and then you do one hot lap. So you basically you will have done one in lap less, which is obviously in your favor, because the tires will be less worn. It's not that much of a difference, but there definitely is a difference, I think. So lap 5 and Alex is once again very close, so it's not looking good for me. Well, I'm obviously in first place, but I just cannot seem to, you know, get into a nice good rhythm like I did in Abu Dhabi last race, which was a very good race. So, you know, it's not going that well. Taking that corner quite nicely though, staying within the track limits this time. Luckily, I have already exceeded quite a lot of times the track limits, so we should pay a little of attention on that, obviously, because doing it too much will definitely first people might complain about it, and second, you might get a penalty. So that's not what we want, obviously. So fuel strategy seems to be working pretty well. Going to mix 1 for this arena section, and then after that, in the very sweeping right-hander, I go to mix 3, because basically you want horsepower through that corner. I'm talking about the next corner, which is coming up now. So mix 3, there we go. Basically you want a lot of horsepower through this corner, a lot of power to accelerate, and then go back to mix 2. So there we go. See that? That's much better than what I did before. Much closer to the apex as well. And that's just basically the way you want to take it. So I'm getting into a rhythm now, which is good. Indeed, a good rhythm. 7/10 faster than previous lap, even though I had it lock up. Pretty good. Pretty good lap times at the moment, but still Alex keeps holding on, about 7/10 behind us. So very well, or very good job from Alex so far, holding on, but not really fast enough to overtake, I would say. I think I have a pretty good top speed as well, probably because of the fuel strategy as well. I can run mix 3 on, you know, the two DRS straights, DRS zones. But Alex is very close behind us now. But look at that! Look in the mirrors. He drops back a little bit. Every single lap, I noticed that he was dropping back at the exit of that corner. Now it could be because of the dirty air, but I don't really think he is taking a good line through that, because you have this right and then left-hander, but he doesn't really swings it into that right-hander. And in my opinion, the exit of that left-hander is so important. You want to have a good line through that right-hander, but the only way to have a good line through the right-hander is to go wide and then sweep it in, which he doesn't really seem to do as much as I do. But obviously that's his line and his decision, as he is just 2/10 behind, so he's indeed very close, and obviously within the DRS zone as well. So look at the tires, they are pretty worn, especially the left front. You can definitely notice that. So we will pit this lap then, which is okay. I mean, this was my scheduled pit stop. So here we go. Does Alex follow us? Yes, he does indeed. So here we go, both into the pits. Let's see what the rest of the field does. Raiden in third place currently. Look on the minimap. Yes, he comes in as Jack first comes in as well. So here we go, pit stops. Let's see how they go. Switching to the prime tire. And we're off, so look on the mirrors now. Look behind us. Yep, that's very lucky there. Alex got held up by Raiden, I think it was. So Alex told me he had a 4.5 pit stop, I think it was. So he lost about 1.4 seconds to us there, which is very unlucky for him. And as well, look behind, he drops behind Premium. So now I was very lucky here. I've got to admit that I was very lucky, but at this stage I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was paying attention to pull a gap right now, because right now I have a chance and I want to take this chance, this opportunity with both hands, and just grab it, take it and pull away right now. So I was pushing, definitely. You can see there as well a little bit of oversteer with these, well, they are pretty much up to temperature right now, but a couple of corners ago they were still cold. So definitely pushing. As these prime tires, look at that, they turn in beautifully there. And it seems like Alex already passed Premium. I think Premium made a mistake. So Alex passed Premium, but there's a gap between him and me now. So he won't have DRS. And now is the time I have to pull away from him if I can. So I have to do everything I can in order to pull away. Maybe then I can think about the victory. But obviously it's way too soon to think about a victory at the moment. There we go, just 2.3 seconds. And obviously when we pitted it was about, well, less than half a second I would say. So I gained about 1.7 seconds in that pit stop phase. Obviously very unlucky for Alex, but that's the way it goes, unfortunately. Sometimes you are lucky, sometimes you are unlucky. And we have seen it in Suzuka as well, where I got a little bit unlucky with the pit stops, got held up a little bit. And I always say that, that time it happened to me, but at that stage I said it happened to me, but next time it will maybe happen to someone else. And that happened indeed, because this time it happened to Alex in this race. Obviously bad luck for him, but even after bad luck you should always fight, try to recover from that. So let's see if he can recover from that and close the gap to me, because obviously there is right now a little bit of a gap. Screw does a 38.2, very good lap from him, but obviously he went onto the prime tires a little bit earlier. I think he pitted in lap 5, so if it's right, Alex and me should be able to beat that. As this race is pretty much between me and Alex, I think. Gaston dropped back, Renaud dropped back, and it's just Raiden behind Alex. And I think behind Raiden it is Jack first, but not sure on that. So let's have a look at the gap to Alex then. Let's see if I can increase it. It seems like I'm doing a pretty solid job, if I say so myself, currently. Not making huge mistakes, taking a very good line through every single corner. There again, taking the curbs beautifully, and indeed 3.4 seconds to Alex. Just have a little bit of a lock up there, have to be careful with that. Don't want to have a massive lock up and then go off the track and lose the advantage that I have right now. So let's see how I take this corner this time with the new tires. Beautifully. Bit wide though, but well, I would say that was pretty good. At least I'm nailing the apex now a little bit. So the first corner is pretty blind from cockpit view, and that corner we just went through is pretty blind as well. So it's hard to see, and you just have to turn in whenever it feels right. You don't really have a marker as well. Obviously you have you have your braking point, but you don't really know when to turn in. Lap 12 then, and the gap to Alex is 5 seconds, so I can tell you that the gap has been extending over the final couple of laps. It is pretty much the same scenario as Abu Dhabi. I'm not 1 second faster, and then 2 tenths faster, and then another second faster, and then 2 tenths faster every lap. It's just every lap the same amount, basically. It's just every lap, I would say 4 tenths. So it's a consistent increase of the gap. I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm not the best at the English language, but again, I'm pretty sure that you know what I mean. So going to mix 3 again. It's just a few strategy, and I think it's working beautifully so far. It definitely gives a good boost at the straights. And obviously here going to mix 1, because you don't really need a lot of horsepower here. You just need a good traction, and whenever you go to mix 2 or 3, you will have a lot of wheel spin, which is first bad for tires, and secondly it's bad for your traction. So that's why I go to mix 1, and then mix 3 again here. I already explained that you just need horsepower through this corner. Final corner then, and doing a 38.2, so very good lap there actually, only 3/10 away from the 37.9 which I put in earlier as my fast lap of the race. And obviously the tires are a little bit more worn as well, so I'm doing a very solid job there. And the gap to Alex is 5.1 seconds, so indeed increasing that once again as well. Skipping to lap 50 now. And still looking good, just making no mistakes, keeping a good pace. It's, you know, as I said before, the scenario of Abu Dhabi is pretty much happening again here. Just extending the gap every lap by quite a few tenths, and just doing a good job so far. Gap to Alex is 6 seconds, so gain another second in the last, what is it, 2 laps, something like that. So that's the confirmation that it's about 4 tenths every lap. Right, so I'll talk a little bit about that corner. I've been talking about it a little bit as well before. That very crucial corner, the most important corner on this track. I'll tell you soon, or in the next lap when we get through there, what's a good line through there, as Alex pits this lap. So usually you would pit in lap 17, but he already pits in lap 15, so that's pretty early. I'll presume that he will be struggling then at the end of this race. So what do? Do I go into the pits this lap, or do I wait one more lap? We will see what my decision is as we go to this one, this first sector then. So here we go then. A good knowledge of the racing line is very important here. So go into here, into this left-hander, and then swing it in here, and then stay on the inside. Third gear, get slowly on the throttle, as I went a little bit by there, so that was not really a good example, but with fresh tires you can really see the line which I'm taking there, and that line, I think it's the best line. It's very important as I go a little bit deep into the corner, so these tires are starting to fall off and I have to do something about it. I think it's a good decision to pit right now, so I use all of my curse, because I won't need that little bit of curse I have saved throughout the whole race, because I want past the start finish straight, because I will pit this lap then. So that's to cover off Alex, because I know the undercut on this track is it's a pretty big advantage, about 1.5 seconds if not 2 seconds to be honest, and I'm on pretty worn tires, so it's a good choice to pit, definitely. Gap to Jack first is 14 seconds, so Jack first managed to jump Raiden as it's lap 16, and here we go then, into the pits I go. And let's see how the pit entry goes. So here we go, braking for the pit entry, and oh, it seems like I braked way too late, and yes, I did indeed lose a little bit of my front wing. That's definitely going to cost us a lot of time. Stupid mistake there, very stupid, as I have a look on what tires Alex is. He is on primes indeed, so just a confirmation that he will go to the end on the current set, I think. So 5.6 seconds, that is 2.5 seconds slower than what I usually than the usual pit stop is. So let's see, is that Alex on the minimap? No, it's not. That's Smuffler, and that must be Alex then behind Smuffler. Smuffler going into the first corner, Smuffler alongside me, he's on the outside there. I will have to leave him room, which I do indeed, using a little bit of curse on the exit there just to make sure I can stay ahead of him, which is very important. This is a very crucial overtake. Yes, I can indeed overtake him, so there we go, staying in front of Smuffler and Alex, but definitely that gap which I had before of 5 seconds, something around there, as I make a huge cut there, the gap of 5 seconds or so has been decreased right now, definitely to about, I would say, 2 seconds, but Smuffler is holding up Alex right now, so it's pretty much a replay of the first, or not the first stint, the second stint after the first pit stops. Alex get held up a little bit, and now I have to take use of that, but Alex already got past Smuffler there, so let's see then if Alex can again close the gap to me. I presume that he will be pushing very much in order to close the gap down, and I'm currently in second place just behind Jackfors, who still has to pit. So look at these prime tires then, they turn in beautifully and they feel very good, but every time you switch your worn tires for a fresh set of tires, it always feels very different, and you always have to get used to it. Sometimes you make a few cuts because you're pretty much used to the grip the worn tires give, and then compared to the fresh tires, it's a huge difference. It really is. As I go a bit wide there, picked up a little bit of dirty air from Jack first, but also I got on the curbs before I turn into that corner, and you don't want to go on the curbs there, because that unsettles the car and gives a little bit of oversteer through that left-hander. That left-hander is definitely a very crucial corner in this on this track. So here we go then, Alex does a 37.2 and I do a 37.9, so That's currently my best, but obviously that was on my previous stint. So let's see what I can do now. And let's see the gap to Alex as well. The gap is just over a second, so I have to push, try to keep him out of my DRS zone. And there we go. That's a very good exit there. And you can immediately see in the mirror that I think the gap to Alex increased just because of that one single corner. So that corner is so crucial, it's so vital to get a good exit there, and just a good line in general there. As I said before, that first corner, or the first sector, sorry, the first sector is all about, you know, knowledge of the racing line and know which corner you should compromise in order to get the next corner a little bit better, if you know what I mean. You know, sometimes you have to just compromise a corner in order to get a better line through the next one, and that's really important through that section. And indeed the gap is 1.2 seconds to Alex. With benefit of hindsight as well, I can tell you that Alex was currently basically running the whole time on mix free. That's what he said afterwards, after the race. So he is right now pushing, and you know, I'm not really. I'm trying to focus on myself and not on him. Trying to run my own lines, trying to run my own, you know, strategy. Pay as less attention as I can to him, because I know that when I, you know, pay attention to him, it basically prevents me from going into a rhythm, into a flow. So that's not what I want, obviously, as I do a 36.6. So that's the fast lap of the race then. And skipping a little bit later until lap 19 as I make a little bit of a lock up there. And basically another replay of what happened in the first stint. I locked up into the next corner, but this time I did it in the previous corner, and the advantage which I had, you know, is not really gone, but it's not as big as an advantage as it was, obviously, after that lockup. Turned it beautifully there, took the curves beautifully as well, and that cost me half a second, that lockup. So the gap now again is 7/10, and I'm just, this is basically not good from my, you know, from my perspective. First of all, made that mistake when I came into the pits, which was completely my own fault. You know, no one to blame there, definitely not, other than myself. So that was my own very stupid mistake, and I should learn from that. And now again making a lock up, and it's sometimes with me that I cannot really find a good flow. Which is definitely a problem. It's not one of my strongest points. You know, when I get followed by someone, I pay too much attention to him rather than myself. As Alex, look in the mirrors, he now makes a big, well, not a big lock up, but he definitely locked up there, I think. And now again, the advantage is in my hands. So I got lucky once again there that he locked up, and that the advantage is once again inside my hands right now. Indeed, the gap is just 1.2 seconds. So if I have a good corner here. Yeah, pretty sweet corner there. I should be able to keep him without my out of my DRS zone, basically. So make maybe a little bit of a cut there once again. Maybe took the curbs a little bit too much, but it is pretty unavoidable with these tires. They give a lot of grip compared to the worn tires, as I said before. And you know, it just takes some time, especially for a driver like me, to get used to it. It just turns in beautifully. Look at that once again. It turns in much better than I expected, to be honest, as I'm about 7/10 up and doing the fast lap of the race, so or a purple sector. So purple means fastest sector of the race. Sorry, not the fastest lap. So the gap to Alex is 1.7. It is increasing again. I think Alex right now has to basically back out of it after he has been driving very fast and pushing very hard for the, you know, last couple of laps. He obviously, you know, you cannot run forever on mix free on the high fuse setting as do a 36.5. So indeed fast lap of the race and 2/10 faster into that final sector. 2/10 faster than Alex. So the gap is about 2 seconds and it's increasing again. Look at that as well in the first corner. The front end just gripped so well. I had to do 2 steering inputs in order to you know, not cut that corner. Here we go, indeed 2 seconds after that first sector. Just 7 laps to go then. So can I bring it home? You know, I think I have an advantage here, you know. I pitted 1 lap later than Alex, so my tires should be a little bit fresher. And also Alex has been pushing over the last couple of laps, so he has used up, I think, a lot of fuel and now he has to you know, do some fuel saving, and that will drop his times as well, definitely. 2.5 seconds. Yes, indeed. I extended the gap by almost half a second in one sector, and it wasn't even, you know, it wasn't a great sector. Not bad either, obviously. That's a good corner. Yep, that was a good corner. Finally, you know, you can see it as well at the driving style. It just seems a lot more smoother. It seems just better when I get into a flow right now. Doing a 36.7 as well, which is not bad at all. You know, with these tires, they are about 7 laps old right now, so not bad at all. Just 2/10 off my my fastest lap, so that's not bad. So skipping to lap 24, and indeed there's, you know, there's nothing wrong. Gap to Alex is 4.8 seconds, so indeed again extending that gap by a couple of tenths every lap, just trying to maintain a good pace, and you know, right now definitely picked up that that flow again, where I was in during that second stint as well, where I, you know, extended the gap to 5 seconds. Then obviously had to pit, and that very stupid mistake where I lost my front wing into the pit entry. It's very tricky pit entry, but that's not an excuse. You know, you just shouldn't make those mistakes. This time it happened on quite a good moment, because you know, when you are really in a battle with someone, you don't want that to happen. And I had a gap of 5 seconds to Alex, but imagine the gap was much less, like about 2 seconds. Then I probably would have ended up behind Alex after the pit stop phase. So you know, it's not good, and I definitely should, you know, try to learn from that and prevent it, you know, from happening into the future. Even though I have only one race left, obviously, with AOR before I retire. But obviously I won't stop racing, so you know, just take that experience with you into the, you know, next couple of races, which I will do with another league, because I won't stop racing, definitely not. But more information on what will happen in the future with me very soon. I mean, the channel won't stop, definitely not. I'll keep making videos, but not as much of F1 2013, definitely not. I'm going to play R-Factor 2 with Formula Sim Racing, in case you haven't noticed yet. So, but you know, all of that will come later. An update video will follow later on with, you know, with more information. So lap 26, and my tires are pretty worn right now, actually, but I don't think they are as worn as Alex's tires. Obviously his tires are 1 lap more, you know, worn than our tires. Our tires are 1 lap fresher. Still pretty, you know, maintaining a pretty good pace, about 2/10 of my previous lap, and the gap to Alex is 7.6 seconds. So indeed, I think Alex's tires are, you know, very close to the cliff, which is a term used in Formula 1 for, you know, when your tires are very worn and they, you know, they just provide no grip basically at all when they are in the cliff. So doing 138 force, which is a very, you know, very bad pace actually, but there's no need really to push right now. Just bring it home. And the gap to Alex is 8.1 seconds, so that's indeed the confirmation that he is struggling a lot with his tires, as I am on -1 of fuel. But no worries, I'll do some fuel saving and then it should be all fine with just 1 more lap to go. So let's see if I can bring it home. Then another race win, that will be good, after I won in Abu Dhabi as well. I will admit that there was definitely not my cleanest race. A few corner cuts in this race, but hopefully it's not too bad. And you guys will, you know, understand it. I mean, I'm usually, I think, in my opinion, pretty fair with the track limits. But this race, it wasn't too bad, I think. But not too great either. I mean, I won't pretend like I'm blind and just pretend like it was all perfect and stuff, because that's definitely not the case. You know, just being honest is usually the best thing. 8/10 down on my previous lap, so indeed very slow. And as you can see, there are lots of understeer through that corner as well, so these tires are happy bunnies, if you could call them like that. And 8.8 to Alex, so he lost about 7/10 already during this lap, over the course of this lap. So, you know, if I can just, you know, make no mistakes, bring it home. I know I said in the previous race in Abu Dhabi that usually when you start to slow down a little bit, it's not really good because you are more likely to make mistakes. But at this stage, you know, when you just would continue to push, there's a big chance of locking up your tires when they are very worn. I mean, I've had a lot of experience with tire lockups when they were worn, and that's not going to happen with me again. Definitely not. I don't want that to happen again. So just, you know, taking it easy in the braking zones. One more lap to go. 28 out of 28, and the gap between Alex and Jack first is 11 seconds. So good job from Jack first, who is currently in a podium position. Big oversteer moment there. Luckily managed to keep it on track, but you saw it there as well. Just the tires being worn, and they start to go, you know, quite a bit right now. To be honest, but I'm sure that they will not be as worn as Alex's tires. Definitely not. I mean, Alex is losing a lot of time. I think Alex basically gave up already. I think Alex gave up at lap 22 already. I think something around there when he knew that he had to do some fuel saving, and I continued to extend that gap. So it hasn't been a bad race for me, but definitely not a great one either, with a few mistakes. But I got lucky here, and even though with those mistakes I managed to, I think in my opinion, have a pretty decent pace, even though I think I could have done a little bit more. I don't think it was completely the maximum. Don't get me wrong, it was a good race, but just not completely the maximum with those couple of mistakes. But doesn't matter, at least not this race, because here we go then, crossing the line. I should say, to take home another victory. So that's 2 in a row after I won in Abu Dhabi as well, which was quite dominant. I think I won in Abu Dhabi with 14 seconds, and this time I win by 11.5 seconds over Alex. So still a pretty big gap. Indeed, Jack first taking home the 3rd place, and Fred first and 4th. So good job from them, and Grenu in 5th place, so dropping back from 3rd to 5th. Chicane in P12 there, my teammate, unfortunately didn't manage to pick up a few points for the Constructors Championship, but that's okay. Chicane told me that he expected to be a little bit stronger in Brazil. So that's it then for this race. Another very good victory, I think. Unfortunately though, it wasn't as good as the Abu Dhabi victory, to be honest. I think at Abu Dhabi I was driving at a maximum the whole time, and in this race I had a few struggles. Wasn't that easy actually. Tried to get into a nice good flow in the beginning stint, and then after the pit stops the whole time, it just takes me maybe 2 or 3 laps the whole time, or every single race, to get into a good flow again after I have pitted, except for Abu Dhabi, which was pretty good. This race I was pretty happy with it, but as I said, I think I could have performed a little bit better, but I'm not complaining. It was enough for a victory, so I'm happy with that. Look at the championship table then. Alex, he is a champion right now, so I think he won the championship in season 6 as well, and now he has done the same in season 7 of the Apex Online Racing Championship. So congratulations to him for the championship. And there's a gap between him and me of 30 points, and then it's Fed first in 3rd place, and there's a gap of 131 points between him and me. So that's a pretty big gap. That just shows that this season has been about me and Alex pretty much the whole time in terms of the championship. Look at Alex's consistency as well. Since round 16, which was the Indian Grand Prix, he has been finishing the whole time in 2nd place, so second. Pretty impressive stuff, if you ask me. Pretty consistent as well. And next race will be Brazil, then, which will be my final race with AOR before I retire. Or yeah, is that a correct sentence? I think it is. This is the last race, and then I will retire. Let's put it that way. So I hope they'll enjoy it. Brazil should be a good track. I usually like very short tracks, except for Monaco, because I hate Monaco. But Brazil is pretty good, I would say. Obviously, as well with the weather. You never know what's going to happen at Brazil with the weather, so we will see. Now, the championship is over. Once again, congratulations to Alex for winning it. But a question then. I know I've been questioning this question to you guys as well. In India, I think it was. Should I start from the back for the next race? So that means no qualifying, just starting from the back. We will basically do a vote, I think. So leave a comment below and type in vote yes or vote no. So vote yes means starting from the back, and vote no means qualifying and just racing. But as I said, vote yes means that you agree with me to start from the back, because I honestly don't matter. I honestly don't care, I should say. Championship is over. Just want to have good fun, in that final race. I mean, I will definitely miss the people at AOR, but I won't miss the game, to be honest. I'm pretty much done with this game. There are so many glitches and bugs, and there's so much lag. It's pretty much impossible to race wheel to wheel without having, big, massive troubles. Well, not big troubles, but, there's quite a bit of lag usually involved when you race against each other. So, I think I was pretty happy with this race, just taking home another victory. That's it, pretty much. Just next race, Brazil, one more race to go, and that's pretty much it. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like. I'm currently working as well on the highlights video, which is going to be epic, if you ask me. It will be really good, actually. Making like a complication of this season at AOR, obviously. Putting just the highlights together with a little bit of music, a little bit of special effects, stuff like that. I think it will be pretty good. I will upload that, well, after the Brazilian Grand Prix, obviously. And then after the Brazilian Grand Prix, there will also come an update video, as I mentioned before, with updates and information on what will happen next with the channel, because obviously I will stop the league races. There will be no league races, but don't be ashamed, because there will definitely be some other very, very good videos. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about it right now. Just stay tuned, and then next video I'll make next time I'll make an update video with information about the future of the channel. So that's pretty much it. One more race to go, as I mentioned before. Should I start from the back? Vote yes if I should start from the back. Vote no if you want to see my qualifying lap and stuff like that. So most votes count, and we'll see what happens next race. I would really actually like to start from the back, but yeah, as I said, I don't really care. We'll see. We'll see. So thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like, and that's it. So other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.